Hey guys, Rex here. I know it's been a little bit. So I want to give you a little update real quick about what's going on with my bike and, what the future holds, all that stuff. So right now, my ZX6R, as you can tell, I'll bring this back here so you can see, it's currently in the shop at the mechanic. I already got like a preliminary estimate, and this is before a mechanic actually looked at it. The preliminary estimate was like about $4 grand. Now I'm gonna quickly show y'all some of the things they were looking at replacing. This brake lever, this part, gas pedal, the fairings, and I'm using this bike as an example of my bike, right? The fork, apparently the right fork, because of how it hit, got bent, and the brake rotor. Rear brake fucking snapped off, so they want to replace all that, including the rear set. That's a lot of money, guys. My aftermarket exhaust got destroyed. The swing arm was pretty messed up too, so they want to replace that. It's a lot of damage, and it all adds up. There's a couple of bolts on the actual engine itself. And you got to understand, like, this right here, the tank alone on my ZX6R is about $1,700. The forks, like if I get brand new Showa forks, that's about the same. Now the way insurance works, we'll use this, they also want to replace this, because that got snapped off. They want to replace this one because it fell on that side. Potentially even the windshield itself. It's so many different parts that all need to be replaced. And the way insurance works is they take your model, your bike, with how many miles it is, and see how much it would cost, how much it goes for, right? My bike right now would probably be worth about $9 grand. Adding aftermarket parts generally does not increase equally the price of the bike. So, the fact that I added a slip-on and I added a lithium battery and all that stuff. Now that's covered by my insurance because I have like additional coverage specifically for that. Anything I add onto the bike, and I added probably a little over $1,000, they're gonna replace that. And they're also gonna replace the safety gear, the gloves, my boots, my pants, my helmet. They're not gonna replace the GoPro because the GoPro just doesn't fall under safety gear basically, but all this stuff adds up to like close to $2,000-$3,000. So that being said, there's a high likelihood that my bike's gonna be totaled. The ZX6R, the orange bike, it's hard to explain, but basically insurance goes by how much your bike's worth minus how much they could get from salvaging it, from selling it at an auction, which is about $1,500. So we could say my bike's about $9,000 before the accident. So subtract $1,500, that would put it down to $7,500. And if the cost of repairs equals $7,500 or more, it's worth it for them to just salvage it, just total the bike basically, and, offer me the amount and then pay for all the accessories and stuff. Is better that way than for them to spend, more than the bike cost. Like at that point, they could basically just buy me a brand new bike for the same amount of money. You get what I'm saying? So it's just not worth it. Even on a minor crash, guys, like y'all saw the video, it was literally 22 miles per hour when I flipped and landed on the ground. And the only reason that I flipped is because, there was gravel. And as soon as I finally caught, and if you know anything about these brakes, the harder you squeeze, the stronger the brake is. And once you get to 100%, if your front wheel isn't caught, as soon as it does, it's just going to flip you. And there's no amount of strength you can have that can stop that from happening, basically. So it is what it is. My bike is basically gone. The ZX6R is gone. I'm already looking into new bikes. I have gap insurance through my bank. So what's going to happen is my bike will probably be considered totaled. I highly doubt they're going to want to pay more than what the bike's worth to repair it. Actually, most insurance won't even fucking consider it. All right. So my bike will get totaled out. I have gap insurance. So whatever the insurance doesn't pay to the bank towards my bike's amount will get covered by the bank. That will zero out my loan, and I'll be able to take out another loan for another bike. I mean, that's basically the way it is. I found a ZX6R 2020. It's a KRT, and I found it for a great deal. It was like 12.7 or 12.8, something like that. And that's like, for a brand new bike, that's insane, guys. Like that bike is literally 16 grand. And the way your bank does it when you get a loan, they look at your credit, they look at your debt to income ratio, and they also look at how much is the bike worth and how much are we financing it for. They will not finance higher than the bike is worth, basically. So like, generally they won't. Like for me specifically, like on my ZX6R, the bike was worth 10.3 or something like that at the time. And I had to put a down payment to bring it down to 10.3. So with this 10R being, $3,000 cheaper than it's actually worth, y'all get what I'm saying. Basically, they'll be like, yes. So, I mean, I may have to put a down payment, I may not. The insurance will cover my torn up gear and stuff. If y'all haven't noticed already, look at my hand. I'm able to make a fist. It's broken. I don't know if y'all could see that, but my hand's yellow on both sides. I don't even look, my skin color isn't right, but I got detail in my hand now. It still hurts a little bit. Most of the damage was on my toe and my hand and my GoPro, actually. My GoPro ate the pavement as hard as I did. So, it's a miracle that it's even still working in any way. So that being said, if I had frame sliders in that specific accident, I likely would have bent the frame too. And if I bent the frame, they would just trash the bike immediately, just from the frame being bent. So there wasn't really much I could do there. A stunt cage would have been cool. If I had a stunt cage, that probably would have stopped that from even happening. It wouldn't even have been a big deal. I probably wouldn't have even broke anything, but I hadn't got around to getting that yet. And it's kind of hard to find, 2020, parts, basically. And that's like the main other thing that's kind of going on right now. Because this is such a new bike, the parts are super expensive and they're kind of hard to find. Kawasaki dealerships will have it. They'll have access to the list of every single part. And you got to remember, like we're saying, the forks are almost $2,000. You must do the throttle cables and the throttle itself. This right here, this like all this stuff is over $6 grand right there alone. That's not even including the mechanic actually doing the work, and you have to include that into it as well. So to fully repair my bike would cost more than my bike's worth, and there's no way any insurance is going to cover it. So this is the update, and that's what I got for y'all. I'll let y'all know ahead of time what's going on with my bike. I'm still gonna make videos. I got the 650. I'll be able to make videos on that. I'm almost to the point where I can start using the throttle again. So once I feel comfortable, I want to give myself probably another week of healing. We'll see. We'll see how well I'm doing. My birthday's coming up on the 28th, so who knows what'll happen then. Ugh, I just don't even know. Like, this has been such a ridiculous experience. It's not that bad, right? Like, I mean, either way, my bike would have got fixed, or I'd be able to get a brand new one. And the way I'm looking at it now, it's like, we don't know, because we don't know if like you took the entire thing apart, if there's structural damage just from the fall because the way it fell. Like, yes, it was at 22 miles per hour, but what you're not considering is how hard it slammed to the ground. And that's basically all I kind of want to get to y'all. Anyways, I'll let y'all in on another update once I figure out what the situation is, but it looks like as of now, the orange ZX6R will be totaled. I'm pretty sure of it. I mean, there's almost like no way that it won't be. I mean, it's just too expensive. And my bank has already said as soon as I have paperwork saying that it's going to be totaled, they'll let me get the other loan. So I'm already set, basically. I may have to drive a little bit, so we'll make a video out of that. Anyways, I'll see y'all in the next one.